Let's check in chat here. Again, we just want to say hi to everybody and remind everybody that it's now 2-2, StarCraft 2 strategy versus Overdosed Gaming. NX came out first against Wildcard of Overdosed. Wildcard took the series up 1-0 for Overdosed. Then Zombie Grub came out, winning the next two games against Wildcard and Roblals, bringing StarCraft 2 strategy back to 2-1. And then Overdosed Gaming sends out Phil Nilite. Keep looking because his name's hard to pronounce, to tie it up against Zombie Grub 2-2. Next game we're going to be going in against Bonkers and Phil Nilite, as Phil Nilite has won the game, so he stays out for Team Overdose Gaming.
StarCraft strategy, bringing out the Bonkers.
Bonkers, we contacted StarCraft 2 strategy, and they were kind enough to send us some info on their players. We also contacted the other team, but we weren't able to hear back from them in time. So we have some bio on Bonkers, who's going to be our next player. Do you want to update us on what Bonkers is about?
Absolutely. So Bonkers is another 17-year-old player. A lot of young guys on this team, which is pretty cool. He's from Florida in the United States, and first online gaming experience is Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction. So just decided I'm going straight for the expansion. I'm not even going to bother with vanilla. And so played Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, so not a veteran in the RTS genre. Played StarCraft Brood War at age 9, but only played custom games, none of that ladder crap. Because who does that? Come on. Then switched to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 until his PlayStation 3 broke, apparently. Then decided to get StarCraft 2 because who wants to play Modern Warfare anyway, right? Right. Placed in gold. Next season moved up to Masters, so big jump. Wow. He's played over 5,500 games since Wings of Liberty has released. In his free time, besides playing StarCraft 2, enjoys running and swimming. And apparently he drone rushed to Masters on a Smurf account. So if you ever lost to that, I'm sure that he's not sorry, but we apologize for him.
All right, so random updates here. Series is 2-2. Again, we're not using our scoreboard because it's the same hotkeys as my scene switcher. 2-2. We're gonna have next up Bonkers from StarCraft 2 Strategy against Overdose Gaming Phil Nilite. This is a best of 9 in the King of the Hill format. If you're not familiar, the players stay out until they lose a game. So this is Phil Nilite's second game. Zombie Grub bounced out after her loss in the last game. This is StarCraft 2 Community Team League, where it's all about the community. So do us a favor and follow us on Twitter. I'm Wingnutstarcraft. Galligation is Galligation. Also follow SC2CTL. Please tweet to us. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. We're going to be doing this for 3 months, people.
Yeah, so there's a lot of room for improvement.
Let us know what you like, what you didn't like, so we can do the things you like and not do the things you don't like.
That's right.
Also, you'll get updates of when we're going live. There's 3 casting teams, so follow all of your casters so you can know what's up. We'll be here Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 to 10:30 Eastern Time, approximately. So come and join us as we bounce into our next game.
That's right. We would love to see you.
Game resumed.
In our lower right-hand corner, we've got our champion from the last game. He is Protoss. His name is Phil Nilite.
And from StarCraft Strategy, sending in their next player, it is Bonkers in the pink trunks in the top left.
Gotta respect the guy who wears pink trunks.
That's right. I wear pink trunks.
PvP. First PvP of the day. We have had all the races in this series. Started out with a TVZ, went into TVT, into TVP, and now PvP.
So are we going to see a cannon rush or double proxy Stargate or?
There's so many
what do you
options in
think?
PvP these days. I'm not even going to tell you that there's not. Looks like
maybe Bonkers was giving us a heads up in his bio that he's going to actually probe rush all in. I kind of don't think so, but you never know.
It looks like Bonkers is going to be sending out a 9 scout right after he built his pylon. Gateways going down for Phil Nilite. Bonkers has not put one down yet. What's Bonkers up to? He's a bit late on his gateway here. Also behind on probes. Alright, there's his gateway. Nothing too fishy yet. So PvP options, obviously DTs is a real big option as they're cheaper in Heart of the Swarm. Robo play with Stalkers, Zealots, Immortals, really good. Stargate, Oracles are fantastic. Oracles can be a win move if you catch somebody off guard. So there's a lot of things you gotta be paying attention for. It's like Bonker's gonna be taking both gases. So that is the same as Filnolite, who's also taking both gases.
Bonkers is going crazy on the shields of that pylon, really trying to Artosis pylon him with just that probe.
That's rough, man. Don't you hate it when your shields are down?
I do. I hate it when my shields are down.
Probe
Filnolite's decided that he's had enough. Chases that probe out around.
Bonkers is definitely a good bit behind Filnolite. Filnolite's Cyber Core is half done while Bonkers is just starting. I'm not sure why he got behind there exactly, but he was behind on a probe, which...
Well, he's got a probe lead now, it looks like.
It definitely slows you down. Income for Bonkers is definitely higher than Filnolite at almost 100 minerals a minute more.
That extra probe will do it.
Yep.
Looks like... see a Stargate coming down from Filnolite in a proxy position. Looks pretty similar to what we saw last time. Bonkers has decided to go back after that pylon, trying to get a little bit of hull damage done to it.
Freedom SC2 asks in chat, how many days of casting a week? Currently, casting is scheduled Monday through Friday. Different times, the Monday and Wednesday casting team is doing it earlier as they're on Mountain Time. I think they're doing 4:30 to 6:30 Mountain Time, which is 6:30 to 8:30 Eastern Time. So check them out. We will be doing Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6:30 to... I'm sorry. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 to 10:30, as Mothership Core comes out for Bonkers.
And that is Eastern Daylight Time.
Eastern Daylight Time. There's a third casting team that is scheduled for Friday as well. I just can't remember what time off the top of my head. A Void Ray is being chrono boosted out for Filnolite, but that Mothership Core sees that, and he re-rallies that Void Ray right to the Mothership Core, and it says, run away! Only if Mothership Cores could attack air units.
But they can't.
Stalker coming in for Filnolite into Bonkers base. Going to be Stalker v Stalker here. A little bit of micro fest as that Mothership Core comes in to help out.
Play the support role.
Mothership Core actually does more DPS than a Stalker, but that Void Ray is going to put an end to that as he takes out the Mothership Core.
Those Stalkers are sitting there trying to do some damage to that Void Ray, but it is overcharged, overclocked, and is going to be doing some damage to those Stalkers and probes, killing those gas probes, trying to keep the production down for Bonkers.
Bonkers now getting his Mothership Core out. 2 Stalkers. Warp Gate's about to finish. 1 Gateway's about to finish as well. Filnolite putting down 3 gates. Warping them in as we speak.
Filnolite's killed 7 workers so far.
That'll set you back. Second Void Ray coming out of that proxy Stargate as Filnolite continues warping Stalkers. 2 Void Rays against these Stalkers is just going to be brutal because Void Rays are excellent, especially the Photon Overcharge against Stalkers at the moment. You have to have a pretty superior number of Stalkers to deal with that.
Filnolite putting a proxy pylon on the other side of where his proxy Stargate is. Going to get that gateway push going.
Bonkers putting down a pylon at Filnolite's natural, knowing that he's a bit behind at the moment, wants to make sure that Filnolite can't get ahead or take advantage of his position holding Bonkers back and expand behind it. And he's going to warp in some offensive zealots here to send into Filnolite's base. Also has a zealot attacking that pylon at the Stargate. I bet you he wishes he built 2 pylons there like he did last game, huh? Filnolite going to be taking care of that with 3 zealots of his own along with the probes. Not a whole lot of damage going to be happening here. Looks like 1 worker was killed.
Bonkers doing some really great micro, keeping those zealots alive.
That's going to be the end of their lives. Void Rays coming back to clean up that zealot, but alas, the pylon did fall.
So that is the end of the sky toss for a little bit at least.
Filnolite warping in more Stalkers on his proxy pylons, rallying up the Void Rays with those Stalkers to see what he can do. Gonna catch a Stalker of Bonkers off guard.
Bonkers is putting down a Twilight Council and warping into Sentry.
Bonkers pushing out to see if he can push Filnolite back. Filnolite activates that photon overcharge, so that would be interesting. Prismatic alignment a little too early and wasting that, so it's going to be on cooldown now. So if Filnolite wants to have a chance to do some damage, now would be the time. But it looks like he's going to sit back defensively and see what happens. Both players still chronoing out probes.
Filnolite decides he's going to try and march up the ramp, and there's a force field to keep him right on out.
Bonkers repays that quick reaction in kind by activating photon overcharge after he knows that he locked Filnolite out of his base, so that's going to be underutilized as well. Filnolite stacking up his forces here with those 2 Void Rays, adding more Stalkers. Filnolite was attempting to take down the pylon of Bonkers with a probe, but Bonkers warped in a Zealot to take care of that.
Now we have a Zealot battle going down at the bottom. A second one is coming to reinforce, and now a third. Doesn't look like... Yeah.
Warping in another Zealot. Looks like Filnolite's trying to get some position going here on this ramp. Bonkers is a bit too far away to force field the ramp. I don't even think he has enough energy.
Bonkers was able to warp in a second Zealot and actually push back the Zealots that were coming down to destroy that pylon.
It is a good play by him, keeping some units warped in at Filnolite's base. It means there's that many less at his base. Bonkers pushing out a little bit to see what's at the bottom of the ramp, sees all those Stalkers, those Void Rays, that Sentry, and gosh darn it, that one Zealot.
Bonkers is putting a pylon in the base of Filnolite.
Guess what's coming? When behind.
Is it Dark Shrine?
Actually, anytime Dark Shrine.
Anytime Dark Shrine. Great force field. Keeping half the units out, those Stalkers are forced to retreat back to the corner
needs
there.
to get up there and kill those 3 Stalkers, those 2 Void Rays while he can. That force field locking out his base. I don't know if he didn't realize that force field was so good, but he had a chance to at least whittle down the forces a bit. But Filnolite warping in the DTs, just wrecking on Filnolite's main here. All the probes going down. Looks like
DT
24.
gets warped into the base, the main base of Bonkers as well, doing some damage. Filnolite realizes there's no choice but to move in and try and take down that Nexus. But in the meantime, he's taking heavy damage, and half of the Stalkers are not engaged in that battle. That's going to really hurt his DPS. He realizes it moves him in, but the other half of his army is almost all obliterated. Misclick there a little bit.
Nexus did fall. DT's still wreaking havoc in Filnolite's base, but Bonkers lost his Nexus.
And his supply block now. He was able to get a pylon down, it looks like.
DT's warped
in.
Oh no,
he just lost units.
Obviously is a pretty handy thing when you don't have any detection. So this is going to be an interesting standoff here, because Filnolite definitely does not have any detection, does not have any ability to build any detection. He is building a pylon next to that Stargate to attempt to get a Oracle out, probably for the detection.
And Filnolite GG's.
Decides to GG. Well, as we have seen, an interesting PvP. DTs always do end up doing that, don't they?
They tend to, yeah. They are definitely the panic button of the Protoss arsenal.
Prosciutto is pouring the proverbial salt into the wound on chat. Yeah, everyone's saying how strong DTs are. DTs are pretty strong, especially when you don't have any detection. Indeed. But, you know, only if Filnolite would have built that second pylon at his Stargate. He did it the first game.
He did do it the first game. Maybe he decided it was too much the first game and decided, you know what, I'm not going to do that.
So, for those of you keeping score at home, that brings StarCraft 2's strategy up 3-2 after falling down in the first game 1-0, coming back with 2 wins, then losing another to tie it up 2-2. Now Bonkers with his DT play brings it up 3-2 in the favor of StarCraft 2 strategy. This is a best of 9, so we still have some more games to watch.
There's definitely more games.
So, next game is going to be Bonkers versus